Good morning and happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Math Class with Mrs. Hauk. Today we are moving on to Lesson 4 in our Blue Math book. We are in Module 2. We are continuing to work with fractions and dividing the fractions. Today I'm going to kind of just do a quick opening lesson here for you. It's a skill that you're going to see a little bit more of later on. You will notice the opening exercise asks us to look at these two fractions and make something which we call equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions means we need to make a fraction that is equal to that. So for example, I have here 2/3. If I would want to make a fraction that's equal to that, I need to find a factor, and that factor I choose, I need to either multiply or divide the numerator and the denominator. Well, I don't think I'm going to do any dividing, because if you look at your factor sheet, which some of you already know the factors of 2 and 3, if you notice, when I look at the 2 and the 3, the only thing that they have in common is a 1. And because the 1 is the only thing they have in common, I can't reduce this fraction. The only thing I'm going to be able to do is actually make this larger. So if I pick a factor, let's pretend I'm going to pick the factor 3. So I'm going to multiply these two by 3 to make it bigger. 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. I have made an equivalent fraction. It says I have to make 3 of them, though, so let's pick a new number. Let's pick a factor of 7. So I'm going to put this up here just for my own notes. I'm going to use the factor 7. 7 times 2 is 14, and 7 times 3 is 21. Okay? You can pick any factor you want. You could even pick the factor of 10. As long as we multiply both the numerator and the denominator. 2 times 2 is 20, and 2 times 3 is 30. These are all equivalent fractions. If I would reduce them, they all will eventually come back to 2/3. All right, so let's look at our next one here. We have 10/12. We want to make equivalent fractions. So I'm going to take 10/12. Ooh, what's nice about 10/12 is actually I don't have to make it bigger. I could even make it smaller. Some of you already know that when you look at the 10 and the 12 right here, they both have the number 2 and 2. So I actually could pick the factor 2, but I could divide them both by 2. If I divide 10 by 2, I have 5. If I take 12 divided by 2, I have 6. So I made an equivalent fraction. 5 and 6, most of you know, cannot go any smaller. I'm as small as it can go. So now I'm going to have to do some multiplying. So let's pick a factor of, let's multiply by 3. 3 times 10 is 30, and 3 times 12 is 36. Okay, so we can pick another factor. So far I have made 2. Let's make one more equivalent fraction. Let's use the number, let's just go to 100, make it real simple. 100 times 10 is 1,000, and 100 times 12 is 1,200. So I have made what we call equivalent fractions. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next sample on to the bottom called Example 1. All right, so let's look at our next problem here. It says Molly purchased 11/8 cups of strawberries. If she eats 2/8 cups per serving, how many servings does Molly have? Use a model. Well, we're not going to do a model. If your teacher in class would like for you to make a model, they will go ahead and do that with you. But for today, we're going to continue working with our keep, change, and flip. Molly purchased 11/8. She eats 2/3 cups. We want to know how many servings, so we're going to take 11/8 and let's divide it by 2/8. Okay? Now we know to keep 11/8, change, and let's flip to 8/2. Those of you that have been paying attention for the past couple days know that you really don't have to do 11 times 8 and get a big number and then do that division. You already noticed that you can do some cross cancellation. 8 goes into 8 once, and 8 goes into 8 once. So now I have a little bit smaller problem. 11 times 1 is 11, and 1 times 2 is 2. I heard somebody say this is top heavy. You are correct. This is top heavy. That means we need to take 11 and we need to divide it by 2. 2 goes into 1. No, it doesn't. 2 goes into 11. We know 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10, so we multiply right there. We'll do our subtraction. Subtract here, so my answer is 5 and 1/2. Let's check our question. Molly purchased 11/8 cups of strawberries. If she eats 2/8 cups per serving, how many servings does Molly have? Does it make sense to say that she has 5 and 1/2 servings? It does. So we're going to go ahead and let's write our label servings and let's circle our final answer. Now, in order to double check to make sure we did it correct, for me, I might be concerned that maybe I divided wrong. Maybe I should have done the 2/8 first. Well, if I did the 2/8 first, divided by 11/8, and yes, I want you to write this down. Keep, change, flip. Once again, cancel your 8s. Oh, I have a much simpler answer, 2/11. But let's see which one makes sense with the question. Molly purchased 11/8. She eats 2/8. How many servings? I'm looking at how many servings that she has. Well, to me, it makes more sense to say that she has 5 and 1/2 servings. This means she doesn't even have a whole serving. So this is our correct answer. Let's go ahead and turn over to the next page, please. All right, so on our next page, it says, now imagine that Xavier, Molly's friend, purchased 11/8 cups of strawberries. If he eats 3/4 cups of strawberries per serving, how many servings will he have? Well, once again, we started with 11/8. We're going to divide by 3/4. The rule is keep, change, and flip. If I multiply, oh, I can't do any canceling, can I? There's no numbers that are similar on the top and the bottom. So we're going to multiply 11 times 4 and get 44. And 8 times 3, and 8 times 3 is 24. Oh, I heard correctly. This is a top-heavy fraction. That means we need to come over here and we need to do 44 divided by 24. Most of us know that 24 cannot go into 4. 24 goes into 44. I think 2 times is going to be too big, so let's go 1 time. So we'll put our 24, and then I'd like for you to go ahead and subtract. Once you've subtracted, you should come up with the answer 20. My answer is 1 and 20 over 24. Oh, what did I hear? Somebody is correct. If you look at this fraction, this can actually be simplified. It can be simplified. So if I have a factor sheet, I'm going to look at 20 and 24. Well, my 20 has the numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. And 24 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12. Let's see. What number do they have in common that's the largest? They both have a 4. That's the largest number. So that means I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to simplify my fraction. So let's remember I said 4, right? Let me circle that to help me remember. So I still have my whole number 1. Now I have to simplify my fraction. 4 times what is 20? 4 times 5. 4 times what is 24? 4 times 6. So my final answer should be 1 and 5, 6. If he eats 3/4 cups of strawberries per serving, how many servings? 1 and 5, 6 servings. And circle our final answer. All right, so let's continue on here with example 3. Example number 3, we are going to continue our keep, change, flip. Here's our problem. So we have 3/4 divided by 2/3. I want you to write the keep. I want you to do the change and the flip. Is there a number on top and bottom that I can cancel out? There's not. There are 2 3s on the top, but I can't cancel them out because they're both in the numerator. One has to be on the top and one has to be in the bottom in order to cancel. So 3 times 3 is 9 and 4 times 2 is 8. Oh, that's top heavy. So let's simplify it. 9 divided by 8. 8 goes into 9 one time. Subtract. My answer is 1 and 1/8. Circle our final answer. So I think some of us are starting to get a little bit more comfortable with this. If you are doing this lesson with my video, feel free to pause it at any time, solve the problems on your own, and then start the video back up so you can check it, because we want to make sure everybody understands how to do this. All right, so we have 6 over 2. 6 over 2 divided by 3/4. So let's keep, change, and let's flip this, please. 4 over 3. There's nothing I can cross reduce. There's no numbers the same. 6 times 4 is 24, and 2 times 3 is 6. Ooh, that's top heavy. Some of us already know the answer. The answer is 24 divided by 6. Hopefully most of you know that 24 divided by 6 is actually 4. If you don't, you're going to go ahead over here and write that down. And there's our final answer. Okay, let's try the next one. Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. Oh, look at this. I see a number on top and bottom I can reduce this time. Look at this. 2 goes into 2 once, and 2 goes into 2 once. 5 times 1 is 5, and 3 times 1 is 3. I still have to do some division though, because this is still top heavy. 3 goes into 5 only one time, which is 3. We do a little subtraction. Your answer is 1 2/3. Great. All right, last problem. Going down to problem number 3, please. Okay, problem number 3. We have keep, change, and flip. I don't see anything that I can cancel that's the same yet. 7 times 2 is 14. 8 times 1 is 8. That is top heavy. 8 goes into 14 one time. If I subtract, I have a 6, 1 6/8. I think if I look at my factor sheet, this can actually reduce. The number 2 goes into both of these. And if it does, I'm going to keep my whole number 1. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 8 4 times. Now, the nice thing about this is those of you that have teachers or grown-ups at home that are helping you do this, some of you are actually learning that you could simplify the problem here much sooner than doing this. Some of you noticed that you could actually simplify 14 over 8 by reducing it to 7 over 4. And if you did that, watch what happens. Goes into this once. And I still got the answer 1 3/4. Same answer. So that's what's so nice about math, is there's lots of different ways to solve the problem. We are to the point now where I need for you guys to figure out what works best for you, but I want you to come up with that simple answer. I want you to simplify it as much as possible. Okay, so I'm going to have you guys go ahead and turn over to page S20, and I'm going to ask you to solve these 2 problems. I want you to pause the video. I want you to simplify it the way you know how, and then I want you to circle your final answer and look to see if you got it correct. So go ahead and pause your video. All right, so I've covered up my page. Let's see how we did. My keep, change, flip. I had a top-heavy fraction, so I did my division, and I came up with my final 6th grade answer. Okay, my next problem was this. I did keep, change, flip. I got a top-heavy fraction, and I did my division and came out with my final answer. Okay, we're going to continue doing this. Like I said, this is not the only way to simplify. There are ways that you can simplify much sooner. We're just kind of starting off slowly. For some of you, if you already know how to simplify, go ahead and do that. Teachers may end up doing some other things with you in the class as well. As soon as you are finished with your lesson, you do have a Google form, and I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. And of course, like always, I look forward to seeing you on the next day.